This is the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast, Salty Old Cheesebags episode. I don't know what a cheesebag or a podcast is. Must be some millennial slang I ain't heard about. Kids these days, I tell ya, what a handful. Anyway, I'm gonna go take a nap.
All right, motherfuckers, this is the night that we kind of get shitty with everybody. So this is the Salty Old Cheesebag episode. I'm Jack, and that's Brad, and we fucking hate everybody.
Sons of bitches.
Motherfuckers.
Oh. Yeah.
Welcome to Tales from the Crawl Space. How are you, Mr. Brad? Are you significantly, or are you angry enough for this evening?
My back hurts, my knee went out, and I've got the piles.
The piles. Damn.
I got the piles.
I thought you were going to do like the Pepto-Bismol commercial. You know, was it nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea?
I'm sitting on a donut right now, Jack.
Yeah.
And it was my dad's, and it's filled with straw and horse turds. And that's the way we liked it.
Yeah. My hemorrhoids is acting up.
Right. It was good enough for my dad. It's good enough for me.
My butthole looks like a starfish.
That's right. I got piles the size of grapes.
That's some shitty ass grapes.
It's like opening up a can of Vienna sausage. All right.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Well, tonight we're going to bitch and moan and complain about all kinds of shit. We've actually got some rather apropos posts from Facebook that we're going to address tonight as well. But this is all about goat paths, all about the shit that pisses us off. We're going to get off on trails that have never been explored before. So we're going to be the veritable Lewis and Clark of the podcast community tonight.
And Jack, this is a direct result of the 2 feel-good episodes we had last season. It's
we have to balance the scales.
Enough is enough. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, fuck all that shit, man.
Jesus,
everybody have their happy
Christ.
shit. We need to balance the scales now. I've been welling up with sarcasm and hatred for 2 fucking weeks now.
Hang on a second, Jack. I got to yell out the window. Why don't you kids shut the fuck up? Goddamn neighbor kids.
Get off this fucking lawn.
Sounds like somebody's fucking dissecting a cat out there. Alive.
Alive.
God damn it.
Let's hope they're dissecting it, because I think it makes the same sound when you go in rectally.
I don't know what them kids are doing over there, but they need to shut the fuck up.
Some goddamn kids.
Fuckers. Hey.
What?
Oh, my God. Jack, I got to ask you. What the fuck is the deal with phone sales, man?
Okay. I got a perfect fucking story for this one. Fucking phone sales. Working for the awesome company in Pennsylvania. Still love the company. Will say them by name because they're fucking fantastic. But for this moment, I'm not gonna, because I got something not nice to say. They got this asshole that thinks that when they do mosquito and tick service, get out there with the fucking steel backpack fogger, that it's one size fits all, and they charge one flat rate for doing someone's yard. Now, this motherfucker lived in central Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is usually, asses and elbows packed in real tight. But this guy had a big fucking, like half the block was his property. And it was the same low price that someone with a quarter acre or less with their house sitting on it would pay for their mosquito service. And this is the same asshat that I told you several episodes ago that had that little tiny postage stamp of a backyard of a row house in central city of Harrisburg with like a piece of grass about the size of a doormat, and sold them a fucking mosquito fogging service. What the hell am I going to fog? What are we doing? What are we doing here? But no, but on the opposite end of that fucking spectrum, this asshat decides to sell this 3/4 of an acre fucking piece of property for the same amount of money. Now, I'm having to go back and refill this fucking backpack 3 times to do this goddamn property. It's taking me like 2 hours to do it, to get it done thoroughly and correctly. And it's the same amount of money that I would have got doing that little fucking doormat of grass in the center of the fucking city. Phone sales. You're like, well, I look at it on Google Maps. I'm sorry. You need to actually go out and see the fucking property.
Exactly. And I mean, I'm telling you, if it was 100%, which it's not, there's a lot of good sales that come over the phone, but damn it, not all of them. You get these ones. I mean, if you can't, it's like people will call, I got roaches. Okay. Well, it's going to be $199. And I mean, you can actually hear the roaches crawling across the phone receiver. But yeah, it's $199. You send that poor bastard tech out there, and what happens? He's there for 2 goddamn hours.
Oh yeah, you got like it's like clean out worthy type fucking roach job. I mean, the roaches are picking up the other line upstairs just to hear what's going on. That's how many fucking roaches there are.
That's right.
I mean, the floor is moving because of them, and you're charging them a basic fucking service rate. No, there are varying degrees of problems, and some require a fucking clean out, not just a regular service, and you're going to fucking pay for that.
That's right. And fucking, yeah. I can't believe some of the shit that comes over on the phone. Not recently, but goddamn, some of these things. I mean, bed bugs. Oh, yeah, I got roaches. Yeah, it's $199. You go out as bed bugs. Oh, well, you got bed bugs. I said, no, the guy said it would be $199. Now, for bed bugs, it's not. Well, I want to talk to your manager. Gladly.
Yep.
Hey, manager. He's like, what did I say? $199? I just do the best you can.
Oh, fuck that, because if I get out there and it's bed bugs, and they had everything pulled out of their kitchen cabinets as opposed to stripping their fucking room down for preparing for a bedbug job, I'm not doing shit anyways, because I'm not coming back for multiple fucking services just because someone decided that, oh, I didn't have to get all this stuff off the floor, out of the closet, or take the sheets off the bed, or do any of that. I didn't have to empty those dressers. The bullshit, you got a fucking bedbug job, you better clean that shit out.
Fucking I'm not sitting there, everything, my friend.
And I'm not waiting 2 hours for you to plod along at the speed of molasses cleaning your fucking bedroom so I can do a job for fucking bed bugs. That's just, I'm not doing that. You get a fucking prep sheet. You get 72 hours at least before we schedule you. So you have more than enough time to clean that shit up. And if you don't want to fucking do it, I'm not fucking treating. You can sleep with those motherfuckers. All I care.
I've had people I've given prep sheets to a month before I come in, and I'm still waiting an hour for them to fucking finish prep.
I was wondering, on this sheet, am I supposed to do this? You had a month to fucking call and ask me, and you wait till I show up. Well, I wanted to make sure you could see what I was talking about. But no, I'll come back next week. Have fun sleeping with those motherfuckers.
That's right.
You're not ready? I'm not ready to wait. So
that's right.
Eat a dick.
Yeah, because I've got like 8 or 9 other things I got to do after your stupid ass.
Yeah, and me sitting here waiting on you 2 hours is going to put me way fucking behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not doing that. That's one. I cannot stand getting behind on a fucking route, man. I fucking hate that shit. You get someone that holds you up, and you've got your day planned out in your head. You look at your route sheet in the morning and go, okay, I can do this. This person doesn't mind if I get them early and they're closer to this, so I can streamline this fucking route and we'll be in great shape. And you get that one motherfucker that makes you wait. And you're sitting there, and then your whole day is fucked, and it just kind of fucking snowballs because you're in a shit fucking mood by the time you leave their house anyways, and you fucking hate everybody. Then you inevitably get stuck in traffic because your whole fucking schedule's thrown, because you generally work that shit around traffic and stuff so you can get through town and get your shit done. But no.
That's our problem, Jack. We care too much. We give a shit. We want our schedules to be good. We want our customer. When we give a customer a 2-hour time window, we want to be a 9 to 11 time window. We want to be there at 9 and not at 11, because that's kind of what we expect of ourselves. And when you've got that one guy, fuck it, man. It totally jacks up your day. I mean, you may be on schedule according to the order of the universe, but that's got nothing to do with how we feel.
Well, I tell you, sometimes when I was scheduling my own route and I was calling people ahead of time, I was treating them like the fucking cable company does. Well, we'll be there between 8 and 12. Yeah. So I got a 4-hour window.
I'm going to treat them like the cable company, Jack. I'm going to tell you, we're going to be there between 8 and Thursday.
8 and next week.
Yeah. Sometimes a cockroach is not a cockroach. But then you got the cockroaches, and then you're like, okay, I have a plan. So you get your Vendetta bait, which is made by the good folks at MGK. And yes, I am plugging it because it's a goddamn good bait. But one thing I'm not going to plug is that goddamn plastic tip that they put in there. You get 2 placements out of it, and then it closes up like it's got fucking gonorrhea or something.
Those pieces of shit.
Yeah, and it flattens the fuck out. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll just use the metal tip. Well, fuck the metal tip too, because there's something about that metal tip. It blows out. It's like you're doing your bait placement. You get a little bit of resistance. You push a little bit on the plunger or push a little bit on your trigger if you're like a hoity-toity fucker and actually have a bait gun. And and that tip just goes poop, and next thing you know, you're shitting diarrhea all over their fucking cabinets. It's a goddamn shame.
Be glad it's not the Drax shit, that green stuff that just oozes out like infected semen.
Oh, it is. I know. That's like fucking draining an abscess on a horse's ass. It's horrible,
disgusting.
Oh man, but yeah, goddamn Vendetta is good bait. I mean, I've wiped out cockroaches all over the place, and heavy activity too with placements of Vendetta Nitro, and it's really good shit. But you know what else is good? That's that fucking. Oh shit! It's just Alpine WSG. That's the most awesome shit I've come across in a while. It's funny that some companies don't use it because even though it has been praised highly in the industry and on social media, like Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and it's just incredible.
That's a Bear product. Is that a Bear product, Alpine? Is that Bear? I think it is. I think it is.
Yeah, I believe it might be. I don't know. It's either that or Bassif.
I guarantee you, fucking the Big Green Tea wasn't using it because they were laundering their own money with Whitmire shit.
Yep, the Scarlet Letter wouldn't use it because it's new and new things frighten them.
Oh boy, God forbid.
Anyway, so the plastic tips on Vendetta bait. Fuck them. You know what I do? I talked my boss into it because he's been using Max Force, which is a good product for ants and whatnot. We had an issue with Vecerus, Univar, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves this week. Not being able to get the Max Force bait that he liked to use. I think it was what's the rubbers that big dick people. Oh, Magnum, Max Force Magnum.
Right.
And, they couldn't get it. So I said, hey, Advion ant gel is not a bad product. Let's go with that. He goes and gets it because my boss, William the Merciful, is an awesome dude, and he actually listens to fucking people. So he gets some, and I take the blue needles out of those because those are the best goddamn tips on bait cartridges. Syngenta makes that, and oh my god, they are the best. They stand fast, and they put out a good product. They put it out quick. They put it out precise, and yeah, they're awesome. As a matter of fact, I plan on writing them. Hey, can you send me like a box of like 1,000 of those? It's like, name your price. I'll pay it. But
yeah.
And
you could do that.
Yeah, and it's just it's those little things. It's like just the little shit, like the plastic tips on the Vendetta bait. People a few minutes, taking time to prep and shit. It's sometimes doing this job is like being pecked to death by baby ducks, and I'm telling you, and like the hand dusters. Yeah, anybody that uses those bellows dusters that look like they got the rubber thing and the spring on the inside and the little rubber tip on it so you don't electrocute yourself while you're doing your job.
The JT Eaton bellows dusters, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's it. And man, the one thing that pisses me off is that rubber fucking cork on the bottom of it. Because you can't put that cork up so it doesn't fall out, just in case you're worried about it falling out, because you're going to send too much dust out. But if you put it down low and you're popping, that's it. Or you're traveling around, getting from one area to the next, and you're stopping, all of a sudden that cork pops out. And next thing you know, it looks like Pablo Escobar shot a wad in your account. There's fucking powder everywhere.
Well,
then you're trying to explain to the customer what the fuck happened. And is this stuff harmful? And you want to say, yeah, it's harmful. You might want to get the fuck out of the room. And you're like, no, it's cool. Trying to downplay it and clean it up with like a damp paper towel or something. Yeah, it's a fucking mess. That's why I like my Puffy D, man. The bulb duster type. The green hand grenade with the long
center
tip.
bulb. The center bulb.
Yeah, it used to be called the center bulb. They're fucking calling it the Puffy D now.
What?
I don't know. They're trying to appeal to the youngsters.
Well, look, those bellows dusters, I prefer the bellows dusters because you can get more volume out of it than you can a center bulb. So I do like it. But what I fucking hate about those things, aside from that tip thing, is the rubber stopper that you have to remove to fill it up. When you first get it, that rubber stopper is like 1 micron smaller than the opening. So you're trying to like fight this motherfucker to get it back in once you get it out. Because it barely, you're like rolling up one edge of it when you're trying to shove the fucking thing in there. So here's a little tip. Here's a tip. You take the damn thing out and you take your pocket knife or a razor blade and you just cut off that bottom edge that goes inside the duster that you have to put in to close it. You just kind of cut it off at a little bevel, little angle, so you can actually get the fucking thing in without having to fight it. And that's what I did first thing with every goddamn one before I put one fucking grain of dust in them fucking things, is I'd always trim those fucking things. The guy asked me, "What are you doing?" I explained to him, he's like, "Man, I fucking hate that shit, man, because you got gloves on, you're trying to put that rubber stopper in and it won't go, you get pissed off, you spill the fucking duster." I said, "Just do this, man." And he sat there next to me and got his pocket knife out and shaved that thing down. Fucking would thank me like every third day. "Man, I fucking thank you for that, man. It makes my life so much easier."
Nice. I'll tell you what, though, if you want more volume out of a Puffy D center bulb, just take the very tip of it, unscrew it, man. You've got it. It puts out just as much juice or powder as a bellows duster. No, I'm done with the bellows dusters. I also I broke one. I broke mine. I'd had it for years, and then when I went to work at this place I got now, my truck is a little bit disheveled. I accidentally closed the door on it and snapped that fucking tip off, that extension off of it. And I cried for about a couple hours, and then I got over it. But I ordered another one, and I was like, you know what? The bulb part of this is actually perfectly fine. And winter's coming along, and I'm going to have to start granulating shit, to justify my existence at an account. So I saved that new bulb and put the lid on it, took all the guts out of the tip and extender and everything. So I just got the lid, and I can put Nyban granules in that or whatever, and just poof, 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 poof around where I need to on an exterior, and it comes out perfect. And, the customers can see it, but not so much that it's all piling up. So it looks like, yeah, he fucking did something. So
that's not to be confused with the poons, right? That's different. The poons.
No, because you don't want to take a Puffy D to that area between your nutsack and your leg to, that is ill advised.
They sounded similar. And you got to put that Nyban out when it's 10 below zero, because those Arctic ants, you got to really treat those fucking Arctic ants. Because I tell you some of the Donnie Marie's we had a fucking blizzard here about 10 years ago. I mean, there was like 2 to 3 foot of snow on the ground. And it stayed fucking frozen. So the snow wasn't melting away. And they're like, "We got to get our guys out working." I'm like, first of all, these people haven't shoveled around their house. Most of the neighborhoods aren't salted. What the hell are you expecting them to do? Well, they can go around. They can go around, put some Delta Guard around the outside of the house. I'm like, on 2 foot of fucking snow? What are you treating for? Arctic ants? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
and they
don't
talk
when
to me like that.
Yeah, shit. That's when you got a quarterly service. The best thing, when you want to do a quarterly service, the first thing you want to throw out is some exterior rodent bait stations, so you can justify actually showing up every 3 months to do that. You get out there and you do your thing, And
I'm not digging through 24 inches of fucking snow by hand for 4 or 5 stations around someone's fucking house. I'm not going rooting around in the snow for them. Fuck that shit.
Hey man, I got food to buy, man. I'm gonna fucking do it. It's better. It's better than just totally. But yeah, it sucks. I mean, the snow's deep. You're trudging around in the fucking snow with that big ass 5-gallon fucking bucket that the government makes you carry instead of the small things that we used to have. What the fuck is up with that, Jack?
Right. I wish I knew, because the die-track blocks or final blocks, you used to get them in those small buckets, and it made walking an account fucking tolerable. I've had I've had accounts with like 120 to 140 stations, and when you're lugging around a fucking 5-gallon bucket full of contract and shit, that shit wears on you.
I know it does. It was convenient as fuck too, man. And now all of a sudden, I don't know why they thought that the government thought that making it putting it in a 5-gallon fucking bucket is going to keep the public from using it. I don't get it.
It just means they have more to place improperly. It's all that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's dangerous enough out there when you're trudging across the tundra mile after mile, right down to the parish of St. Alfonso to check some bait stations. And so, yeah, it just makes it even worse. But you know what, Jack? Those 5-gallon buckets, they do fucking come in handy.
When you got to poop.
Yeah, when you got to poop, yeah, just get you a pool noodle and set it on there and a trash bag, and hey man, you got the Portalet Junior.
Well, I'll tell you, leave it to the Federal Department of Agriculture to say, we don't want people to misuse 12.5 pounds of bait blocks. We want them to misuse 35 pounds of it all at once. I mean, go big or go home.
Exactly. Oh my God!
Fucking assholes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in my opinion, you got to have those bait stations out there, so you got a year-round stop. And it's always nice to have the customer. You knock on the door, say, "Hey, it's Susie Homemaker. I'm here. You having any issues inside?" If it's wintertime, they got mice. Yeah, we can take care of that. They got overwintering wasps coming in. We can take care of that. It just builds value, which is important considering the pest control companies are fucking underselling things all over the goddamn place because they're too chicken shit to fucking pay or charge what we're worth.
Right. No, they want to be the lowest bidder. They're like bidding for the government services, the lowest bidder, that's the one that gets it. I don't care if they're using the stuff from the lawn service, that American granule bifin stuff that looks like sand and doesn't actually even dissolve.
Right.
Hey, use the cheap shit, man. That's what we got to do. We can still say it's bifenthrin. It says it on the label.
I mean, I can't believe that, some of the rates that people are we're charging. It's like, for, and they come up with stuff, let's talk about apprehend for a second. Okay. Apprehend, we're using so little of it. It doesn't cost, the general cost outlay is not that much, but, so people are like, well, we can charge less. No, fuck that all day long. Okay. For one thing about apprehend is, it doesn't cost, it's $1.75 for a bottle of apprehend. And you could probably do like 5 or 6 houses with that bottle, but it's apprehend, people. It's not insulin. You just look, and we're not selling chemicals. We're selling the service. We're selling getting rid of the bugs, and we're selling the warranty. That's what we're selling, not the chemicals. So, you got to ask yourself the question, you got a customer with bed bugs. What's it worth to them to get rid of them? And that's what you charge.
Well, look, if you want to save some money, send the fucking CSR out there to do it, because you're selling the skill and the knowledge and the experience of your technician and the other technicians they may confer with about your issue. That's what you're selling. You're selling the knowledge and the background that goes into taking care of your problem the first time, not just some asshat to come out and piss all over the baseboards and roll out.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a question I'm going to talk to because we're going to have a future episode of owner operators on here, and that's a question I'm going to pose. That's a conversation I want to have with them. As far as what we're charging for pest control service, I get it. It's a very competitive industry, and there's always going to be some little bohunk out there that's going to charge less. But at the end of the day, that customer is going to end up getting less too. And which is to me is just a slap in the face. There's been a lot of us out here for a lot of years. We know what we're doing. We know how to get rid of bugs and control them. And we should charge what we're worth. I mean, we provide a vital service to the public. And if you want to do charity work, either go work for the Salvation Army or charge the people that can afford it what it's worth, and cut the people with a little less money some slack.
Do pest control for the Peace Corps. Go overseas and do that shit. Don't bring that shit here.
That's right. Yeah, and then you'll come back beheaded. But yeah, go ahead, go for it.
Well, hey, look, speaking about being angry about shit, Todd Ingmeyer on the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite page, said, Brad and Jack finally got around to listening to Tales from the Crawl Space. Of course, I had to start with the Karen and Chad episode. That's a good one to start with. Thank you for showing me I'm not just a crazy jerk. Stupid effing people everywhere. My only question is, should I sound like you guys with just under 4 years in? Big corporations don't like my customer service so much. LOL. Well, I tell you, 18 to 80, blonde, crippled, and crazy. If you work in the pest control industry, you're going to have something to bitch about. So
You got that shit right.
You got every right to feel that way with just 4 years in. You totally do. So thank you, Todd Ingmeyer, for bringing that question up because it's very fitting for this show. Everybody's got a reason to bitch. We just have a lot more stories to bitch about.
That's
I know what that is.
Yeah, it's time to refill my tumbler, Jack. And Paula Benedict, the first lady of Pest Control Humor Depot, she's looking a little parched. So yeah, I'm gonna refill it with my favorite chaser, which is of course sweet tea. That's going with my Woodford Reserve today.
Nice.
The Woodford Reserve Distiller Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. This particular bottle is from batch 10202. This is bottle number 3776. And it's selected by Master Distiller Chris Morris. And this, Jack, was a gift for my birthday last month from the wonderful William the Merciful, Bill Huth, my boss and friend. And it's delicious, Jack. I mean, it has absolutely no bite. And it's just really smooth. It's not as ballsy as the Pennsatucky, and it's not as beachy as the off hours that I got from Schultze, my good buddy. But it holds its own, and it's a good smooth drinking whiskey. It's a perfect one to drink neat, and of course, but as always, I chase it down with some sweet tea in my beautiful Paula Benedict tumbler, manufactured by Tony Spangler.
Oh, yeah. I've been using my tumbler very regularly. They're great for loading up for coffee when I'm running errands because that coffee stays hot the entire time. It's fantastic. But I'll tell you what I'm enjoying this evening is a well-bottled bottle of Deer Park that comes from several springs across the great state of Pennsylvania. It is probably bottled about a month ago, and you got to realize that every single molecule of this has passed through the penis of a dinosaur at one point in time or another.
Hey, that's a good selling point.
Deer Park water passed through dinosaurs' penises.
Yeah. But anyway, quick back to Tony. Christmas is coming. Tony Spangler is famous on PCHD for his tumblers portraying pesticide labels. I personally have two. One of them is, of course, the lovely and vivacious Paula, but I also have one for Liquitox too, which is outstanding. And he doesn't just do pesticide labels, folks. He does all kinds of different things. If he can print it, he can put it on a tumbler. So just look for Tony Spangler in Pest Control Humor Depot or wherever fine tumblers are sold.
Oh, I've seen some gorgeous ones that he's done that he's posted. Some absolutely beautiful ones. The quality is
and a couple
amazing.
Of Christmassy ones too.
Oh,
and, yeah. So, but you know what? We told everybody we weren't going to ask for contributions for tonight's show, but doggone it, needless to say, the cheese bags, they're going to give it to us anyway. They say, basically they're telling us, Brad, Jack, we don't give a fuck what you want. This is my story.
When do they ever?
My brother in Brazil, Mario Felipe.
Mario
gave me one. Good old Mario. He goes, hello, my friends. I hope this doesn't get lost in the translation, and this is the kind of story you want for the next show. We're going to do it anyway. Even if it wasn't Mario, you're getting airtime. So he goes, this is something that happens frequently and makes me want to bang my head against the wall. My clients are mostly industries, and the majority of them are food industries with various certifications like BRC, HACCP, IFSSC, 22000, etc. So you can imagine the level of demands and pressures I'm subject to. I have strict control over all the documentation to be sent to the clients, and if I delay a document by even a day, emails in Karen mode start flooding in. Despite all this diligence, on the day of an audit, the same person who sended that demanding emails calls me in a panic, pleading, "Please, can you send me the documents from the last 11 months? I can't find them." I have 15 minutes to show this to the auditor. At that moment and counting to 10 and less, furious, I calmly say to myself, "It's okay. They must run out of toilet paper, and those motherfuckers use the documents I sent to wipe their fucking asses. It's okay." Then I send the same emails I sent it before with loving good vibes. Man, Mario. You have no idea how many times I've had to deal with that from food plants, hospitals, Taco Bells, etc.
Oh God.
And yeah, it's incredible because they get their audit. Most of us are paperless now, and we always email the store. I even got to the point where I was emailing the area coach with the tickets, and then I get with the reports, and then I get an area coach call. "Man, stop sending me those! You're blowing up my inbox." I'm like, "Tough shit, motherfucker." It's like you're the one that's going to be calling me when you get a core audit, and you're just like, "I don't have this and this and this and this." And it's like, no, yeah, you do. I sent it to you in your inbox.
Check your fucking email, right?
Check your fucking emails, exactly. Oy vey.
Yeah, it's like the log books. They just, mysteriously disappear right before an audit. Well, I need copies of all the service tickets. Motherfucker. And it's last minute. I mean, I'd have days like the end of the fiscal year. When I was a district supervisor, I had to run around from account to account to account, refresh the log books. Every time we brought out a new chemical, I just have to make rounds for like 2 days, going to all these damn companies with all these fucking log books and put the new labels in them.
Yeah.
But, and they're all in the same place until the day of the audit shows up. Then they can't find the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes a train.
Oh, you got another train coming. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Jack's pulling the train tonight.
Yeah, but tell you, some people need a fucking train run on them. That's for goddamn sure.
You ain't kidding.
World's full of assholes.
Man. Yeah.
What else we got here? Let's see the fucking chuck roasts. I'm going to change direction here. You get a big old chuck roast, man, and you got in the crock pot to get it all cooked down. I usually take one so I can make beef stroganoff, and you get this big, massive ass fucking piece of gristle. It's like the butcher knew it was in there and like buried it in the center of it for a surprise just for you.
It's like chewing on the sole of an earth shoe. I mean, oh my God. It's like that crepe rubber that they used to make soles of shoes out of back in the 70s. Back before most of you fuckers were born. But it's like it's like, what does that thing do? I mean, now I know it's a tendon, and if you take a beef tendon and you put it in a pot with some other delicious things for like for most of the day, it's a great base for an awesome bowl of pho. But you know what? We're not talking about Vietnamese food right now. We're talking about good old American chuck roast. And, having that bastard in there, why they can't cut that out, I don't know.
Well, just like that is if you get one of those chubs of ground beef, the big old tubes of them, look like the big penis, the one that we have all inevitably at one point in time kind of held it down our crotch and said, "Hey, baby, we'll touch my meat."
Yeah.
In the center of that fucking thing is this long fucking dong, like a dildo-sized piece of fat. They like roll up in the fucking ground beef and shove in the chub. It's like they want to
like a meat Swiss roll.
It's a beef Twinkie, which is it's a Twinkie. Yeah, I mean it's also say, "Hey baby, want my beef Twinkie?" So y'all can use that. That's I'll put that one out for everybody to use. Some beef Twinkies, a Bwinkie.
There you go, Bwinkie.
But you know what happens when you eat that Bwinkie, don't you?
Yeah, you get food poisoning.
Yes, you do. You get food poisoning.
You have to call in today, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's always the same people, And it's always the fucking same day too. It's usually what is it? The day after the Super Bowl. The Monday after the Super Bowl is notorious for it. And these summer
January
holidays.
2nd.
Yeah,
January 2nd.
Yeah, these guys probably. I think on a holiday weekend, these fuckers on Thursday night during a summer holiday weekend, they will fucking take a jar of Miracle Whip and set it on their front porch and leave it there until Saturday, and then eat the whole goddamn thing so they can call into work on Monday and say, I got food poisoning. And it's always these fucking guys that are like in their 20s. It's like, you're supposed to be young, vital, healthy. I would understand somebody my age. I'm like 120 according to Is a Tater, but I get fucking, you think I would be the one with the sensitive constitution and would be getting food poisoning? I'm sorry, man. I could eat the ass out of a dead rat and still show up to work the next day.
Oh, I mean, come on. You think about it. We've lived off of gas station hot dogs for decades, so there's not much that's going to bother us. But the problem is when they call in, they don't go, I'm sick, I can't come in. They'll go, hey, Mr. Brad, I've had diarrhea all night long. And you're like, oh, okay, we'll just get some Pepto. No, and I've been vomiting. They want you to tell them to stay home. That's what they want.
Yeah, exactly. I have inflammation of my intestines. And I'm like, it's like, okay, tell me you're not coming in. Just tell me. It's like, but Brad, I don't think I could be. I don't think I would be a good contribution to the goals of the company. It's like, no, you need to tell me, Brad, I'm sick, I'm shitting my guts out, I'm not coming in. It's like, yeah, but you're right, Jack. They want us to make that decision for them. Well, they used to want me to make that decision for them, but I got out of management, which I am deliriously happy about. But holy shit, man, own your fucking problems, guys. Don't put it on your manager. You want to piss off a manager real quick, and you want that manager to not look out for you and have your back and stuff like that. Just keep pulling shit like that, folks.
Well, I tell you, to get the point across, when I was a tech and I had a manager that wanted you to come in if you were like, missing 7/8 of your blood and you had a prolapsed rectum, he'd want you to come in and work anyways. And even if you say, look, I can't come in, I'm sick. No, you got to come in. So fine. I drug my ass in there, sick as a dog. And I stood right outside the branch manager's office explaining to him how bad I was feeling. And I made it a point to vomit right outside of the door all over the fucking place. And the branch manager was like, oh, you got to go home. You just, and the service manager couldn't do a fucking thing about it because I done yacked all over the fucking carpet. And I made it a point just to make sure I would do that. I chugged cold coffee before I got in the parking lot just to make sure my stomach was roiling and ready for it.
You see, but that manager had that one coming because you never tell somebody, no, you got to come in. You know, I mean, if you're sick, you're sick, and if you're sick, own it. So. And it goes a long way. When I was a manager and I get those calls, I would never say, no, you got to come in. I'll be like, I'll roll my eyes. I'll tap my desk a little bit. I will take another sip of coffee. I will have a poignant silence in the phone conversation. And I will say, make sure you get to the doctor. Get yourself better. Take it easy. And then I'll slam the phone down and go, motherfucker, son of a bitch. and so but that's how it's supposed to work. It's not supposed to. You can't drag somebody in when they're sick, especially nowadays, because God knows what's fucking coming from overseas now that's invading our bodies. But you gotta. But still, man, it's like
Ohio's got that. Ohio now has that white lung disease pneumonia shit from China.
That. Yeah. I'm looking forward to catching it sometime before the year's out.
Oh yeah,
Ohio is just right next door to us.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of right between us. So yeah, there's all kinds of creeping crud going around.
The jet stream flows west to east, so I might have a good shot at avoiding it.
Yeah, well, but you get all the disgusting people coming over to Indianapolis from Ohio.
Yeah. The way to go, Ohio. And speaking of managers, Jack.
Yes.
What the fuck is it about them guys getting on Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and trolling for comments from their employees and stuff like that? Trying to find something to jump their shit about. I don't fucking get that.
managers like that have this need to feel important. And I got you. I mean, look, I'm sorry if I'm not calling out the company I work for, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want. Now, if you're going to be like, yeah, bashing with this person in particular, I can see where there may be a little bit of an issue. I can kind of see that. But trolling your fucking employees, that's just that is so fucking self-righteous and self-important bullshit. I mean, those assholes, we ought to publicly lambaste them on the depot.
And we do whenever we find them. And fortunately, our cheese bags are letting us know when it happens, so we can take the appropriate action, which of course is banning them for like ever. And so yeah, we try to keep the depot as safe as possible.
Right.
And at the end of the day, every cheese bag is responsible for their own content. But we've had a couple of situations where we've had managers pull that shit. I don't think anybody's, I think, out of 8,000 people, we've had maybe one person get in serious trouble. But then when we found out about it, we took care of business. And, so, we've got 11 mods and admins on the depot, and everybody is looking out for everybody. But we can't do it all. You kind of got to watch what you're saying and then on the other thing, cause some managers like, well, what if a customer sees this? What the fuck if a customer sees this? This is a private fucking group. This is for pest control people.
Right.
Customers don't get in to Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and to look at shit. And even if they did, fuck them.
Look, if you want to bitch about the people you work for that bad, write it up as an anonymous. You can suck it, and let us read it.
Oh yeah,
we'll be happy to.
Why not? We need the content.
And you can say whatever the hell you want. Just leave company names out of it, leave people's names out of it. But you know what it is. You know what you wrote, and you know what we're talking about. And you can still get it out there and feel vindicated by putting it out there in the ether. And, because someone's going to hear that and go, is he talking about me? And if that person thinks that, that's a fucking guilty conscience.
I hope that happens. I hope that happens. If you're going to be pulling that shit on the depot, I hope it's like, oh, maybe that's me. Well, if you think it is, it probably fucking is.
Because remember, an anonymous letter gives you something called plausible deniability.
Plausible deniability, yes. I've worked for operations managers who that was their business model, was plausible deniability.
Oh, yeah. Just don't tell them you put Termidor in that Phantom. Just don't tell them you did. Just write it down.
That's right. Yeah. Or better yet, write them down. Write them down as something completely useless and harmless as Psychic CS.
Oh my God! Look. When I started out doing termite work, I had this thing. Those big Freon canisters that look just a little bit smaller than a propane canister. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We used to get Psychic CS in that fucking thing, and I had this damn little brass injector nozzle that they'd have me doing wood treatments for termites with this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, I don't know what they make. They must make that stuff with a WD-40 or something like that, because it comes out of every fucking seam. And no matter how you fucking tape up the joints when you're putting those handles on, that shit still leaks out. So you end up getting a bath in the shit, no matter how you could JB weld the fucking joints and that shit would still come seeping out. I don't know what they make that shit with, but it makes a fucking mess. It's oily as hell. It stains everything. It smells like ass.
Yeah.
And I fucking hate that shit, man. I don't even know why. It's micro encapsulated. I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah. Psychic CS in its eggnog form is probably one of the most worthless outdoor things you can put on something compared to the stuff that we've got now. Like Termidor and Onslaught Fast Cap and Suspend Polyzone.
Right.
These products are so fucking superior to Psychic CS, which is like the Model T Ford of fucking pesticides.
Yeah.
And yet people continue to buy it. And why do they buy it, Jack? Because it's cheap. That's
cheap as shit.
It is cheap as shit. I'm just all nah. And because we used Polyzone for a while, and at one of my companies, and we were getting some good results. I mean, recalls on our exterior services and shit were down and everything. But we went back to fucking Sidekick CS. You know why? It's because the technicians didn't take care of their equipment. Now, Polyzone, you need a little bit more maintenance. For one thing, you got to clean that filter out. You got to use it all. And for God's sake, don't have any fucking shit in the thing when it gets cold. Because that stuff's going to turn to freaking eraser rubber in your filters if you don't.
Yeah.
And, same thing goes with Alpine WSG, and I found that out the hard way this week.
I fucking told you 2 weeks ago.
You did. But you know what, Jack? I was drinking and probably ignored you when you told me that. So
I'm used to that. So that's nobody. Everybody fucking ignores me anyways. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then next thing, and when a customer has to call in for a reservice, I mean, a lot of times their demeanor just completely changes. They would be like, man, I've been seeing this and this and this. Can you take care of that? Then they go to, you need to do this. You need to do that. And, I want this done. I want this done. And I want this done. It's just, those recalls just completely change the entire dynamic. You have no longer become the problem solver, and you have become the indentured servant on a recall. Yeah.
Right.
And that comes back to people not wanting to, owners, managers, and things like that, not wanting to spend the money on the stuff that is going to be the most effective.
Yeah, no, and with shit that clogs your filters, I got to tell you, I started doing termite work before Termidor was even invented. So I was doing termite work with Premise when Premise was still on patent. Now, you got these water-soluble packets that you'd throw in your tank. You're filling up to do a termite job. Mm-hmm. And you get these guys these half-ass termite guys that would not clean out their filters on their rigs, but that damn water-soluble packet turned into like a gum, some goop. And that shit would get sucked up and clog your filter. And these guys would just keep on treating, not paying attention. Like when you're doing like a sub slab with the old B&G sub slab tool. You don't even notice because you're just squeezing the handle, counting to whatever, and then going on to the next hole. You don't even notice that it's trickling out like your fucking tool's got gonorrhea or something. Right. The damn thing's all clogged up and you're barely getting any fucking material down there. But I do have to say, I still think for termite work, Premise is superior to Termidor. Personal opinion, I just like the way that wettable powder stuff is suspended, and it leaves the powder behind in the soil as opposed to just, I don't know. I've always thought Premise does have a longer life in the ground than Termidor does. So
even Termidor HE.
I've never used that stuff. The company I was with was either too cheap to use it or I wasn't doing termite work. So I've not used that.
Be. Yeah, HE is the good stuff.
That you can use that it's like half the rate, right?
You can use it at half the. We use it at where I work. You can use it at half the rate. Your trench doesn't need to be 6x6. It only needs to be 3x3, which is awesome. Oh. It definitely makes the world go round a little bit more. And you can pinch your drill holes out a little bit, like 3 inches. You can put them as far apart as 15 inches apart.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So I still drill at 12 inches just because I'm old and set in my ways. But yeah. So so I'll tell you what, guys. We've covered a lot of salty shit here today. But and we're not talking about everybody here. This is not, we're painting with a broad brush, but it ain't that goddamn broad,
Right.
Phone sales are just a fact of life. Plastic tips on vendetta bait. I guess if most of us bitch enough to MGK, maybe they'll make a change, but I fucking doubt it. Same with stuff like the rubber stopper on the hand duster and government shit like the bait buckets. But you know what? If you're working for somebody that understands a lot of things like charging what we're worth, dealing with, giving you the right product, is cool and understands that sometimes you need to let off a little steam and get on a place like PCHD to deal with it and stuff. It's not that bad.
No.
Count your blessings because you're in the right place. The people that do all those other things that we've been bitching about, and the companies that do that, they starving them out is too good for them.
Well, tell me if you've been a manager for quite a long time. Tell me if I'm right in this assessment, because as a branch manager, what I learned is while your technicians are bitching, they're just venting. That's the normal process of the service industry, is bitching about stuff like when you're back at the shop. It's when you stop bitching when they stop bitching is when you have to start worrying.
Exactly.
Because they've gone past the blowing off steam part, and they're in the planning stage. They're keeping their head down to not get noticed. You totally nail it.
They are either planning or have already formulated a plan. And that is totally when you start worrying, because you are probably at least a few days to a couple weeks away from that guy putting in his notice or just flat out not showing up or walking.
Yep.
And so absolutely. So that's but the thing is, Jack, when you get to that point, it's usually too late.
It is. I mean, I'll go out and listen. I mean, I'd go out and listen to the guy's bitch and see what's just a regular, man, fuck this shit. It's been a shitty, because, during the middle of swarm season, you're going to have shitty fucking weeks, and you're going to bitch, you're going to vent, and that's fine. But if there's a recurring theme with multiple people, there's something that you need to look at as to what's going on and make a change. If there's a recurring theme, whether it's the fucking vehicles or the chemical you're using or something that everybody is, you hear it once, that just happens. If you hear it multiple times, that's a trend. And when you start hearing those trends,
multiple people,
right?
Because the people with the guys with the boots on the ground and the gals are the ones that are going to be able to direct you and what direction you need to go as far as your products, your techniques, and things like that. They're going to be able to tell you what works and what don't. So for the love of God, listen to them. Every time somebody bitches, there's things you can't fix, and there's things that no company can fix, because you're right. Like you said, when we're in termite season, it's a pain in the ass. You're busting, you're killing yourself out there, doing job after job after job after job. That's just something you don't poo-poo it, and you don't pizza party it either.
No, you don't. No, don't put pizza party in.
But I mean, you need to take every comment and complaint seriously, but the ones you act upon or whatnot, So that's but that's all a part of being a manager, and that's actually one of the more challenging aspects of it.
Oh, for sure. Hey, you mentioned pizza party. We got our pizza party coming up here really soon. And our Christmas episode is going to be coming up in a little over 3 weeks, I guess.
Won't be long.
Close to Christmas, and we'll have the second annual reading of The Night Before Christmas with the Beach Motherfucker.
I cannot wait.
On our Christmas show. But for our pizza party, do you know who you'd like to have with us on the pizza party show this time? Because I know you and I talked about asking Dave Lyon to be on the pizza party.
Everybody remember Dave Lyon? He was on our international episode. He's a guy's a powerhouse. Him, and I'd also, we'll talk about it later, but there's a couple of people that I'd like to invite. Mario is definitely on the short list.
Hell yeah.
And Paula, so, and Henry Kissinger, but I guess we can't do that now because he's dead.
But we got to have the obligatory Daryl Harvey and Schultze.
Oh well, hell yeah!
Definitely got to have them on.
Most definitely.
Those are the good old standbys that are the must haves. But we're open to having some other movers and shakers from the depot on for the pizza party show, and I would definitely like to have Dave Line. Would love to have Mario. Mario's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I got a couple other in mind I'll talk to you about after the show, just to to get a smattering of a good representative sampling of the depot on the pizza party.
Yeah. And coming up probably next week, we're going to have a great episode of Owners Operators. We're going to get a few of the small business guys on the show, so we can talk some stuff, and I'm looking forward to that. We've got 3 guests on tap, and for all on the same show, which is going to be really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that episode. Jack, I'm looking forward to about as much as I am trying to finally figure out my new underwear, and I'm having issues with my new underwear, Jack, because every time you get a new pair, if you change brands, you got to renegotiate, you got to renavigate, because there's that opening, and every goddamn one of them's different.
Well, I do what's called the swirly method. It with certain underwears, if you get into fly, you do one swirl to get inside the jeans, and then the second swirl gets you just inside the drawers, and then you can pop your junk out. But I tell you, new underwear sometimes it's almost like you're cutting the blood off to the head of your dick, because it's like still so not worn in yet. So it doesn't work. It's like Andre the Giant trying to fuck a midget.
Damn. Poor midget to come out of that experience looking like a test tube.
That's fucking disgusting. I love it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Jack. Every single one of these items that we talked about tonight can fucking suck it.
They all can suck it. This is basically a big everybody can suck it show. So we didn't have a you can suck it story of the day, but this is all sucky shit that sucks, and fuck them. It's just all I can say. Fuck them.
Absolutely. Oh, good grief. Well, Jack,
we got some great shows coming up. Yeah. What's up?
I think so. And so anybody that's got an idea for a show, be sure to let us know. You can get a hold of Jack through Instagram, or of course you can get on here at Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, and just let us know what you're thinking and what you'd like to hear. And if we think it holds water, then who knows, we'll probably run it. And and as usual, and when we do that, if we use your idea, then we're gonna send you a little something.
Awesome. And for people who are just finding the show for the first few episodes, or you're just finding the show now, and Instagram, we're at TFTC Podcast. The website's tftc.wtf. You know what that means, don't you? What the fuck? And we're also on TikTok at TFTC 2.0. You can find us there. You can always find us at the Pest Control Humor Depot, our favorite page.
Yes, indeed.
And my email address is jack@tftc.wtf, and Brad's is brad@tftc.wtf. So if you want to email us something, I got a good PDF email that maybe on the next show I'll bring up. But a new listener sent us something, and I don't have it pulled up to read it now, and we're running out of time.
Right.
But it was a great one, and the guy took the time to put it on a PDF format and email it to me. So I'm going to get to it. We're going to read it. It's a great story. One of the next shows coming up, we're definitely going to give it some air.
Awesome. One final side note before we leave for the week. Jack and I are going to take a quick, just a really short break on the 15th. That weekend, he's got something going on. I got something going on. It's the holidays, and so we're gonna do that. And but we will be back the following week with hopefully the pizza party or the Christmas episode, whichever one we decide.
we might have to make it a combo, because for the pizza party they're going to go the cheapest route and give you the $5 pizzas. So we could do the pizza party Christmas show.
That's right. Yeah, we'll have mistletoe on the pizza and everything. So, and I'm usually I'm going to do what I usually do and have the mistletoe shoved down my pants so everybody can kiss my nuts. And I used to have a mistletoe belt buckle that when you tapped it, it would light up and draw attention to itself. Why does this not surprise me?
I gotta find me another one. I lost that one. I gotta get another one.
Oh shit! It's probably thrown away by somebody who's like, God damn it, I'm tired of seeing that.
probably, but no, definitely looking forward to it. And the other show with our guest and the bedbug stuff, I'm not going to out that one completely. Is that still somewhere in the works?
I'm working on it. There's one more guest I want to try to get on board before we do that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right.
I look forward to it. Get us out of here, man.
Absolutely. Everybody, on behalf of Tales from the Crawl Space, on behalf of Pest Control Humor Depot, my favorite group, we invite you now to bug the hell off.
Bug off.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawlspace Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.